South African Airways chairperson Dudu Myeni has assured a group calling itself Concerned Citizens that the airline is on the road to recovery. She says with its contribution of 0.3% to GDP and 1.6 billion rand to tax coffers, it remains a leading airline in Africa. SAA has suffered a loss of over R1 billion in the first quarter of the 2016-2017 financial year, and it's not yet known if government will afford it the R5 billion bailout it desperately needs to keep it afloat.
The group met with Myeni to seek clarity about issues dragging the airline down. They raised issues of procurement and transformation. Myeni took time to explain some of the challenges that the airline faces, including the controversial Airbus deal, saying it was part of a restructuring.
All our aircraft are leased from overseas, and we're paying in foreign currency for those leases. So we wanted the Airbus deal that created such a noise in the country. We wanted to create an aircraft leasing company in South Africa. And South African Airways was going to be part of that particular company.
She says she wants government to urgently prioritize the whole of state aviation policy framework.
We find ourselves competing with foreign airlines. But if you go to their countries, you are not allowed to compete with them in their own backyard, in their own countries. So our market share is shrinking domestically, if you want. But what is important is for the government to talk among itself so that it's not a silo approach. The regulator must talk to the tourism, must talk to the DTI, because also there are a lot of other things that are built in how the airline can survive and can succeed. And these issues, if you go back in the past, before our time, there were some people that were running this airline, including our successful Sis Maria Ramos, whom I love. She's a successful woman that I adore. She was part of this airline. Even during her time, this airline was receiving bailouts. Even then, when she was at Transnet, she took SAA from Transnet and said, in fact, I was reading the annual report, that the airline is not doing very well, therefore it doesn't make the Transnet financials look good. And if you do the research, nobody will ever say, Dudu Myeni put the airline in the mess. I inherited what I found here, but I've made it a point that for South Africa and for the good cause, it's a good cause. I don't need to be at SAA. It's for the good cause. And I'm passionately doing it the right way. I had to sit down and say, why do we always go to the shareholder to look for bailouts? I'm sure today you know why the airline is in turmoil, financial turmoil.
And the group's response?
The media is not doing its work to investigate what is going on. It's just following the narrative created by agents who are against transformation.
There was no word from the chairperson about when the outstanding annual reports for the airline would be published, but she did promise to meet the group again soon. Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg.